Introducing the Cubical Space Station. Probes not included. Hello guys, I'm Orbiter, your Welsh engineer, and welcome to this, the Cubical Space Station. I had the idea of building a space station because I've seen people build long space stations where, in fact, I think it was Tate Gaming, he built a 1 kilometer long space station. But that seems to be the structure of every space station. You have one long mass and maybe you have protruding modules on the side of it. But what happens if you put them all together and sort of like reduce this area of it? Now, in theory, this might help with avoiding space junk and other such things that, limiting the impact of it. Because you're limiting the amount of area that stray bit of space trash or meteorite is going to hit. However, you do still have the same surface area to hit on the space station. So the merits of that argument is limited, I suppose. But it might be easier to manage. I'm not sure what you'd have. Anyway, first off, this is the main This is the main part. We've got couple of modules with 2 science modules on there, and I've made this to a certain length. I will show you the part that we used to measure the length, because this is going to be cubical. This is going to have to be able to, all the modules will have to be exact same length. It'll have to be able to dock side on side with a 6-port docking port module, which I've got on the top there, and that's specially made. No, it's not something that you have to download a mod for. The only mod I'm using this is MechJeb version 2, and by the way, I'm in version 1.2 for those who are interested. But no, the only special build I've done is that 6-port docking hub, and you don't need a mod to do it. All you need is 2 fuel tanks. Empty the fuel tanks, rotate and clip them using the offset tools, and there you have it. Anyway, as we were watching this probe, I basically showed you what we're going to be doing. What I had planned was launch a piece up, put it into orbit, 200 kilometer orbit the space station is going to be at, and then we'll deorbit the probe and let it burn up in the atmosphere, or crash into the ground. Anyway, let's launch the second part. Now, I can't remember what I did with this one, but there are certain things that you need for a space station. First of all, you need an area for science, which we've already launched up. Then we need an area, we need power generation modules, I suppose. A place for the crew to sleep and stay in, sort of like crew quarters or something. And, well, a load of parts for space station. Parts. Docking ports. I know I've got loads of docking ports on the corners of the station after this is built, using all the 6-port docking hubs. However, I decided I'll launch up a dedicated docking hub for the station. For any type of ship, we can have multiple docking ports for anything that we want. Space planes and whatnot's included. Anyway, you can see on the front of this that we've got 3 fuel tanks and we've got a docking port either side. That is the standard length, and that's where I used. If you have a problem of building a space station, trying to get the length correctly, what I normally do is clip the parts. Basically, if you have a larger fuel tank, you clip the fuel tank into another fuel tank until it's the same length. It's easy to do. I might upload these parts on SpaceX. I'm not sure yet. But I'll probably upload it without the MechJeb as well. I'll let you guys add that yourselves. Because at the moment, I think MechJeb is in development version for 1.2 as of recording this. I'm not sure if it's in full release. But yeah, that is the crux of this building. Anyway, let's get into the meat of it. Right, we're gonna rendezvous first. Kill the target velocity. Whoops, bit too much. Never mind. What I do in these situations is just force my burn towards the space station, and then yeah, go from there. Why not? And oh yes, the reason why I've got MechJeb on here, the main reason is this: you can use force roll to make sure you dock these correctly, otherwise you'll find that the docking hubs aren't properly lined. Now that is the only real reason why I used MechJeb, other than some other cool tools that you can use it for, which I'll show into. And whoa, what are you doing? Yeah, that's what happens if you leave MechJeb on the SAS on while you're undocking, you'll make things go out of control. But I suppose that is what KSP is all about, is learning by trial and error. Next time I'll know to switch SAS off and all controls off before undocking anything. Okay, the next part, I suppose, is no secret. It'll have to be the power, because we've got no control of the space station at the moment. In fact, even though we've got no control of the space station, got no Kerbals on it, we've got no, space probe core on there, so yes, that is going to be difficult to control. Anyway, if you use MechJeb, remember to turn override safe distance and override start distance off if you're in a hurry to dock, as I am. And while we're docking this, let's talk about what it really needs in real life for a space station. Because, in fact, you need a lot of planning for a real space station. Yeah, not only money, you have to test the parts, be able to make sure that it's space-worthy, that it's not going to freeze in the upper layers of space. Because don't forget, you get heating and cooling, because you're in the sun, out the sun. Freezing temperatures, hot, boiling, enough to burn water, or evaporate water, I'm not sure. But yes, there's a lot of things you have to go into just building it. But other things you need to think of would be things like supplies for your crew, how are we going to get rid of waste? And if you look here, I'm using a lot of RCS. Now, in real life, the excess gas from the RCS would hang around the station. It might even cling around the station itself, perhaps on the solar panels and other things, which could cause problems, so you'd have to limit the way that is docked. And yeah, I realise then we still have nothing to control the solar panels on it, so we need to send something up. So in fact, what we could do is send up the crewed mission as we do here. Yeah, at this point I decided, rather than boring you guys with all the launchers, although some of you might want the launches, I don't know, we'd have to, accelerate things, make the video a bit shorter, and we'd have to send up the modules, and I'll just record the actual docking of them. Well, in fact, I recorded a lot more than that. I recorded all the launches, but I had to cut them out because otherwise this video would have been too long. Most of these clips are 4x speed, and at the moment, I disabled MechJeb because otherwise we'll be going straight forward and we'll hit both docking ports. But after doing that, docking, checking both ports, yes, they're docked, and let's undock that. But both ports are docked, which is good. Now all I'm doing here is trying to rotate it into the sun. Well, I was going to try and rotate it straight, but I decided against it. I think it looks cool at an angle. Anyway, let's undock the probe. And one thing I love doing with this is undocking with, you've got the prongs there. You have to slowly take it away. I was doing this manually. Make sure you don't hit the station. And when you aim the camera at the space station while you're controlling the probe, send it on retrograde, burn, and you can watch it descend away from the space station. I thought it was awesome. So I'm going to include that probably in a few clips. Anyway, the next part, now we've got the square space station, we need to cubify it. Cubify it with a K. Okay, so all I'm doing here now is adding pillars. I do find out that this undertaking, the way I'm building this at the moment, is a bit more complex than I originally thought of it. See, I'm going, aiming the camera at the space station, aim retrograde with a probe, and burn. And look at it go. Deorbited. Anyway, next one, yes. This time I decide to bring the assembly without the 6-port docking hub. And yes, the space tape stayed there after I detached all the parts. I'm not sure why, it must be a bug in KSP or something, didn't detect that there wasn't a part there. However, it didn't affect the docking. That's cool. And deorbiting the space probe from this angle. Alright, the next part, this is the part I realised, if I dock that 6-port hub here now, that means we can't attach the other part in between them, unless we use some other type of system for docking. But I thought against that, we got too many docking ports up here, Adding extra parts might make the thing lag, because we've got loads of parts built from this anyway. So we'll attach the 6 ports down here for the time being, and attach the pillar to the other side. Yeah, I was deciding where should I put it here. Yeah, put it on there. Get those pillars in there, and then we'll try to work out how to build the rest of it later. And again, you can see we undocked the 6-port hub, but for some reason that space tape stays there. As long as it doesn't interfere with the docking, I'm fine with that. And at this point, I realised we need a probe there to stay up at the space station, because the game doesn't have a docking arm as such, so we could use a space probe instead as our docking arm, because there is no docking arm in the game. Anyway, here I am trying to dock 2 parts together at the same time. Bit of wobble before they dock, but yes, it works. Awesome stuff. The big challenge will be to see if we can attach 3 ports at the same time. That will be coming up when we finish the Cubify. I said that wrong tonight. Anyway, let's go ahead and deorbit this probe. And this time, I think it's this time. No, it wasn't this time. Next time around, we'll decide to leave a probe up here. Because I can't leave a probe up here with those arms on it. The reason for those arms on the side is a clever little way I saw, was it Grumpfurks? Gaming, I can't remember what his name was now. Anyway, he plays KSP videos on YouTube, and he had these long struts on the side with RCS on them. That'll enable you to control heavyweight parts which extend from the space probe itself. It's a little handy tip for anyone who wants to build big buildings in space. Perhaps that's what we could do with this cube. We can build a skyscraper in space. Imagine that! The Skyscraper Space Station. Anyway, this part, you have to be careful of this. You have to make sure that MechJeb isn't going to hit the station. So I've turned MechJeb off by here. Do it manually. Now I'm using the nav ball to aim the docking port at the front, but coming in sideways slowly. And as you can see, it works. 2 docking ports connected. Let's deorbit this probe and bring up the next one. So far, so good. That is almost looking cubical. Okay, 1 more pillar. And this probe, you might notice something different with it. And I realised just now that we're doing most of these dockings in a dark light. It's lucky I had the ambient light enhancement mod. And yeah, you think I'm deorbiting here? No, I'm detaching the prongs of the spacecraft. Then I'm going to thrust towards the space station. Yeah, what I should have done by there was deorbit it, detach them, then reorbit the space probe and rendezvous with the space station again. Because at the moment, the space junk is going to be in a different orbit, but at some point it might reach the space station again. Yeah, space junk. I do go in later and delete all that. Anyway, is this the part? No, we're not going to cubify it yet. And I don't know why I did this. I detached the space probe from that part there. I realised I'm going to have to catch it. But what we could do here... Yes, I am interested now. Can we do dual docking? This seems like a good idea. So that's what we're going to try here. Okay, get that set target. Get the space probe docking. Get this one now, and we'll set this one to dock with the station as the other one goes capturing the part. And even though we're controlling this space probe here, what I love about this, I can aim the camera at the other space probe, making sure it's on course. This isn't showing the MechJeb that's control this probe, the MechJeb here is showing the control of this probe here. Which is can be quite... if you're aiming at the camera at the wrong part at the wrong time and you're trying to control it, but you're controlling another part, that is going to be confusing. So you'll have to keep your head with that one. Anyway, let's undock this thing. Dock him on the side out the way. And this is the big check. Do we do it? Will it work? What am I doing? I don't know. Oh yes, that's why I can't dock that on it yet. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need one more pillar yet. Stock this on the side. Because that is going to be the final piece of the jigsaw. But you can think of this, that in some point, we can dock, we don't have to dock certain parts now. We can leave gaps inside the space station while building it. So you have gaps in the middle of the space station. You can make a huge square without having to attach a load of stuff to it. But then there'll be longer parts which will be unstable, I suppose. But anyway, now that we've orbited that probe, let's get and see if this will work. Now at this point you have to have 3 docking ports. Yes, I say not 1, not 2, but 3 docking ports to attach at the same time. I have no idea why I said that way. So let's use MechJeb, bringing it slowly. MechJeb is just used to make sure the alignment's right. Once we get close enough, I'll probably turn it off. Just checking to see if MechJeb will do it on its own. And, oh yeah, because you've got 3 docking ports, you've got magnetics of the 3 docking ports interfering with each other. You have to do it manually, there's no other way. Now all bar 1 have attached. Come on, yes! They've all attached. Awesome stuff! Ladies and gentlemen, we have the first Cubical Space Station. Now let's dock the probes at the top of the space station. You probably saw it in the beginning of the video. What I'm going to do is try to see if dual docking really works. This is sort of like the final test. Yes, it does work, because we tried it with 2 probes. But I'm wondering if MechJeb functions with 2 probes at exactly at the same time. Now, I've tried this on maneuver nodes. That doesn't work on maneuver nodes, as you'll probably see in a moment. But yes, okay, one's coming in for docking, one's aligning up, and it's coming in for docking. I wonder how many of these we can do. Probes on either side. Obviously one didn't dock because the station was moving around while it was trying to dock. But if you switch to that probe, it seemed to be right. Anyway, let's extend the thermal panels, extend all the solar panels, just to see what it looks like. I'm not sure whether I want all of them out. Perhaps just the ones that will point at the sun. But it looks cool. Well, sort of. I suppose once you've added a lot more to it, you can improve upon it. You can build extra modules. These modules were built as a rush. Anyway, I couldn't leave the episode here, so I've decided, I hyper-edited this in, by the way, but I decided the best way to build this is to build a square of a space station and dock it. Build extra pieces near the station and then bring it in to dock to the space station. So this is what this is testing out. Yes, I've got 4 probes here. I'm going to have to bring up more space probes to attach to the station, so we can have at least 4 on the station at a time. That way we can build it quickly. And yeah, I can't use MechJeb for this, because if one of those docking ports are rotated the wrong way, and the entire thing rotates the wrong way, then we're going to be into problems here. But as you can see, the challenges of just trying to dock these up. Trying to get all 4 docking ports aligned at the same time, it's not hard. You can use one docking port to align to one docking port, then check the alignment on the other docking port until you can get them all aligned. But as you can see here, hitting the space station doesn't work because it does not go to alignment. Okay, come on, we're almost there. We have docking. All the ports are connected. Yes, awesome stuff. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the octagonal space station. No, not octagonal. No, that's octagonal. No, you silly. Octagonal. What am I on about? The stresses of post-commentary. Not thinking of your words when you say them. yes, plan ahead if you're going to do a post-commentary, guys. And what I'm doing here with the space probes, what I was going to do was set them all to go at a certain time using MechJeb maneuver, and then we'd watch them from the space station deorbit. Anyway guys, if you like the video, hit the like button like an engineer, or crank it like an engineer. Subscribe if you want more of these space station tutorials, because I want to not tutorial, space station builds, because I'm going to add more to this. Anyway, I'm Orbeta, trust me, I'm the Cubicle Engineer. Yay! And let me know if you want more.